Lila knew this day was coming. June 21st, 2026 felt different. It was the last time she would drive her beloved white 2000 Mahindra Bolero. This car wasn't just metal and wheels, it was a time capsule. She had owned it for 26 years. It had been with her through thick and thin. The engine had a familiar, slightly grumpy sound. It was a sound she had grown to love. Every scratch and dent on its boxy white body told a story. It was more than a vehicle. It was a loyal companion that had never let her down, a sturdy workhorse from a simpler time. As she turned the key, the Bolero's diesel engine rumbled to life with a familiar shudder. It was a sound that had started thousands of her days. She took a moment to look around the cabin. The dashboard was simple. It had real buttons and knobs, not touchscreens. The seats were worn but comfortable, shaped by years of use. There was no fancy sat-nav or Bluetooth. There was just a radio that sometimes worked and a glove box full of old maps and cassette tapes. She was driving it to the dealership one last time. It felt like saying goodbye to an old friend. The journey was filled with nostalgia. Every corner and every road brought back a memory. She remembered driving it home from the showroom, brand new all those years ago. She remembered family trips to the countryside, the back loaded with picnic baskets. The Bolero had been there for birthdays, for rainy days, and for sunny adventures. It was a dependable, rugged machine. It didn't have the luxuries of modern cars, but it had character. It had a soul. Leaving it behind felt like closing a very important chapter of her life. Finally, she pulled into the dealership car park. She switched off the engine. The familiar rumble went silent. For a few minutes, Lila just sat there. She ran her hand over the steering wheel one last time. It was a simple, large wheel with no buttons on it. The car had served her well. It was slow, it was noisy, and it was basic. But it was hers. A wave of sadness washed over her. It was time to let go, but it was much harder than she had imagined. This old Bolero was a part of her story, a part of who she was. The contrast in the Badash family garage was quite something. On one side, you had Lila's trusty Bolero. It was practical and unpretentious. It was designed for tough roads and hard work. Its charm was in its simplicity and its ruggedness. On the other side of the garage stood something entirely different. It was Arush Badash's car. Arush, Lila's husband, drove a silver 2019 Lamborghini Urus. It was a supercar, disguised as an SUV. It was loud, fast, and incredibly flashy. It was the complete opposite of the humble Bolero. Arush loved his Urus. He kept it in perfect condition. There was never a speck of dust on its gleaming silver paint. The engine didn't rumble. It roared. It was a statement piece, a symbol of modern engineering and outrageous performance. It had all the latest technology. A massive touchscreen controlled everything from the music to the suspension. While Lila was navigating with paper maps, Arush had a three-dimensional satellite view of the world on his dashboard. His car was a spaceship for the road, designed for speed and luxury. While Lila prepared to say goodbye to her old companion, Arush's situation remained unchanged. On June 21st, his silver Urus was parked in its usual spot. On June 22nd, it would be in the exact same spot. He had no plans to change his car. Why would he? The Lamborghini was his pride and joy. It represented the pinnacle of automotive excitement. It turned heads wherever it went. For Arush, driving was an event, a thrilling experience. For Lila, driving the Bolero had been about the journey and the destination, not just the speed. So, the garage housed two very different philosophies of motoring. One was about utility and endurance, the other was about passion and performance. The Bolero was a tool, a reliable friend that got the job done without any fuss. The Urus was a toy, a magnificent machine designed to thrill the senses. As the Bolero prepared for its final departure, the silver beast next to it seemed to gleam a little brighter, a symbol of the high-tech future that was just around the corner for Lila. June 22nd, 2026 arrived. It was a bright sunny morning. Lila felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Today was the day she would meet her new car. After signing the final papers for the Bolero, a salesman led her to the delivery area. And there it was, a brand new 2026 Hyundai Creta, painted in a sleek shade of Titan grey. It looked incredibly modern. Its sharp lines and futuristic LED lights were a world away from the Bolero's simple, boxy shape. It was shiny and perfect. The salesman handed her the key. It wasn't a key in the traditional sense. It was a small, smooth fob. "Just keep this in your pocket," he said with a smile. "Press this button on the door handle to unlock it." Lila did as she was told, and the car beeped softly as the mirrors unfolded automatically. It felt like something from a science fiction film. She opened the door and slid into the driver's seat. The smell was the first thing she noticed. It was the unmistakable smell of a brand new car, a mix of fresh plastic, leather, and new carpets. The interior was a revelation. In front of her was a large, vibrant, digital display instead of old-fashioned dials. A huge touchscreen sat in the middle of the dashboard, ready to control the navigation, music, and climate. The seats were supportive and wrapped in soft material. Everything felt so precise and well-made. Compared to the Bolero's Spartan cabin, this was like stepping into a luxury lounge. There were buttons on the steering wheel, a panoramic sunroof above her head, and a quietness she wasn't used to. The difference was staggering. With the salesman's guidance, she pressed the start-stop button. The engine came to life with a quiet, almost imperceptible hum. There was no shudder, no loud diesel clatter, just a gentle vibration. She looked at the digital dashboard as it lit up with colorful graphics. It felt a little overwhelming. The Bolero had 2 pedals and a gear stick. This Creta had driving modes, lane keep assist, and a dozen other features she had only read about. This wasn't just a new car, it was a whole new world of driving technology. Lila's first day in her new Hyundai Creta was an adventure in itself. She carefully pulled out of the dealership. The steering was light and effortless. The automatic gearbox shifted gears so smoothly she barely noticed it. On the main road, she gently pressed the accelerator. The car responded instantly, gliding forward with a quiet confidence. It was so different from the Bolero, which required a heavy foot and a lot of patience to get up to speed. The silence inside the cabin was the most striking feature. The noise of the road and the wind was just a distant whisper. She decided to take the scenic route home. The large windows and panoramic sunroof filled the car with light, making the cabin feel airy and spacious. She turned on the radio using the touchscreen. Crystal clear sound filled the car from multiple speakers. It was a huge upgrade from the Bolero's crackly old stereo. She even tried the navigation system, which guided her with a calm, clear voice. It all felt so easy, so modern. She was starting to feel less intimidated and more impressed with every passing kilometer. Driving the Creta was a relaxing experience. The ride was smooth, absorbing bumps in the road that would have sent a jolt through the Bolero's entire frame. She felt safe and comfortable. The car's modern safety features, like the blind spot warning, gave her an extra layer of confidence. This was a car designed for comfort and ease of use. While she missed the raw, mechanical connection she had with her old Bolero, she couldn't deny that this new way of driving was incredibly pleasant. It was a welcome change. As she pulled into her driveway, Arush came out to see the new arrival. His silver Urus seemed to size up the new Titan grey Creta. Lila stepped out of the car with a smile on her face. The day had been an emotional roller coaster. She had said a sad farewell to a piece of her past, but she had also embraced a very exciting future. The Bolero would always hold a special place in her heart, but as she looked at her shiny new Creta, she knew this was the start of a new chapter, full of new roads and new memories to be made.